I think I gave myself a week of recovery time, basically have seen it through to getting another Part 2 architectural assistant job. Hello and welcome to another video. You are watching Archi Student Notes, a platform made specifically for architecture and design students to help get them through what tends to be quite a difficult course, but in hope to make it a lot easier for you to get through. My name is Aaliyah. I'm a Part 2 architectural assistant and to be Part 3 student and architecture content creator. In this video, I wanted to give a bit of an update to my life as a Part 2 architectural assistant and content creator since my last video. So if you haven't watched my last video, I'd recommend you go and watch that now. It was all about how I lost my job in architecture as a Part 2 architectural assistant in a different firm and how I was basically dealing with it. That video, I posted that quite a long time ago. It's actually been quite a few months since that last video, and since then a lot has changed for me in my personal life, me in my career, and me as a Part 3 student as well. So in this video, I'm going to take you through the changes that have happened since that last video and when I wasn't super great. My mental health wasn't amazing, but I was, keeping positive, to now where I'm a lot more positive and I can mostly see a clear line of where I want to go in life. So stay tuned. From the title of this video, you can probably tell I do have a new job, and it is a job as a Part 2 architectural assistant. It's been probably 4 to 5 months since I've got this new job and I'm absolutely loving it. I lost my job in end of January, I believe, and then I had the surgery. I was on a waiting list for surgery for 2 years if you haven't watched my previous video, and I finally had my surgery mid-February, so it was actually losing my job that pushed me to really chase and push for my surgery. So that happened mid-February, which was all good and done, and then I believe 2 weeks after that I had interviews. So I think I gave myself a week of recovery time and then I started applying for jobs again. Yeah, 2 weeks after that I had my interview for this job that I'm currently in, and then I believe a few days after that I then was offered the job. So it took me about 6 weeks from losing my job to getting a new one, which is actually pretty good. Thinking about it, I remember in the moment it felt like it was taking me ages, and I can't remember if I mentioned in the last video that I was really considering leaving architecture, wasn't really sure what I was going to do with my life. Was architecture the right thing to do, etc, etc. But I am very, very glad that I pushed on and basically have seen it through to getting another Part 2 architectural assistant job. So this new job, it is a much better fit for me. Looking at my architecture journey, I've worked in 4 different practices over the last few years, because I've worked in my Part 1 placement, I worked in New York for a year. In my Part 2 placement, my first one, it was a conservation practice, and then my last practice where I was let go from, and then my current practice, and they have all been different. I am planning on making a video on the differences between them, what I did, the expectations, how much I liked it, commute, all of that good stuff. But just for this video and just in terms of a update video, this practice is a better fit for me. The hours are a lot less. I say a lot less, they're only half an hour a day less, but over the week that definitely adds up. The practice is a lot younger, so we have a principal and an associate who are a little bit older, but the majority of the practice are quite young, which is quite nice because it means that you have a lot more to talk about during the day. You have just good vibes throughout the day. It has a very good principal, an associate team, and they work together to run the practice, as well as the other principals in the other office. My particular office is just the principal, the associate, a few architects, me as a Part 2, a couple of apprentices, and a Part 1. It's a massive range, basically covering most of the stages of being in architecture, and that seems to work really well. Everyone's very chilled but determined and focused on their work. Hours are 9 to 5:30. We don't work overtime, just hasn't seen the need for it, and I've been at this practice for a few months now. It's got a really good work ethic, really good, just good vibes. I like going to work in the morning, which is great. I don't get to Sunday, which it is today, and I'm not worried about what I've got to do tomorrow or worried about having to go into the office, which I feel like in previous practices, unfortunately, that was the case. There was always something that I was just not looking forward to or basically dreading. And in this practice, tomorrow is Monday. I'm like, cool. I know what I need to do. I've got a project that I'm working on personally. I'm working with an architect on a different project. There are things I need to chase, there are things that I'm responsible for, but I've been trained in a way that allows me to be able to do that. And this practice, oh my god, I've been talking to various people as part of Archi Student Notes about this idea of not all Part 2 architectural assistant jobs, or just in general, not all architectural firms are created equally. It's not night and day, but the amount I've learned in the last 4 months about how to actually run an architecture practice and about everything that is going to help me going towards Part 3 and actually qualifying as an architect is absolutely insane. I've learned more in the last 4 months than I've learned in the past, how long was it, like 2 years of my past 2 previous practices. In terms of my work and career, that's going really well. And then actually moving on to my Part 3 course. So again, if you've watched my last video where I've had to stop my Part 3 course because I didn't have the funding, that was a whole ordeal that I don't know if I need to do a separate video on it, but that was a whole ordeal that I sort of explained in my past video. But I'm very happy to share that it's now, god, I sound like LinkedIn. Anyway, I'm very happy to share that my Part 3 course has now been funded by my new practice. Bearing in mind I've only been there for, at this point, 4 or 5 months. They have funded they've paid for the time that I was actually on my Part 3 course last year, so when I wasn't even at this practice, and they've agreed to fund my next year of Part 3, which is absolutely incredible. Genuinely, I don't have like a ridiculous amount of savings ready for my Part 3 course, so without them I would have had to work for at least another year. I'm very, very grateful for that, and it means that I now restart my Part 3 course where I finished last year. So I'll be starting this year, so in September, but I'll be fully starting my Part 3 course and doing all the assignments that I need to do from where I left off in January. That's all set up, everything's paid for, and they've agreed to pay for it. In terms of work and career going forward, that seems to be on a very good path at the moment, and I'm crossing my fingers, but I actually trust this practice. I'm happy there and everything seems to be working really well. That's work and career. Now I want to talk about Archi Student Notes. In this past few months, Archi Student Notes turned 2, which means we have been posting mostly on Instagram for 2 years now, which is incredible, and I'm so very thankful for all the interactions we've got on Instagram, and I'm really trying to expand into LinkedIn, TikTok, YouTube. So I'm really happy with the progress we've been making in the past few months. So there are a couple of things that I want to shout out, or I guess just talk about. The first is my mentoring sessions. Over the last few months, as we sort of finished off the end of the academic year, we have been doing a lot of tutoring sessions, and I say we because I see Archi Student Notes as something that could grow, but it is just me. At archistudentnotes.com I have a page that's dedicated to tutoring. If you want a tutoring session, you can just send me a message or fill out the form or just purchase, and there are 30-minute and 60-minute sessions. And over the last few months, as people have been finishing their deadlines, I've got a lot more business from that, which has been absolutely incredible. The helping people is the main part of Archi Student Notes, and being able to offer tutoring sessions means that I can work with students one-on-one, and that has been absolutely incredible. I've worked on studio projects, tech projects, construction projects, and more recently been working through a job application. One of my students purchased 5 sessions, and we've been working through their entire job application. I've been working on a course for job applications for months now, on and off, but doing the one-to-one session has really made me think that I really need to be able to make it a lot more accessible for everyone. So I'll be working on the course in the next few months. I'm not sure how long it's going to take me, but I'm really excited to share what I've learned over the last few years of leaving jobs and having to get new ones fairly quickly. More recently with Archi Student Notes has been ArchiWeek, and I will definitely be doing a separate video on ArchiWeek, as it's something I'm really, really passionate about. If you don't know yet, ArchiWeek is a series I'm doing on archistudentnotes.com as a sort of blog, and it's where everyone, ordinary architecture students, architects, architectural assistants, anyone who's basically had any experience with the architecture world, and that could be interior design, architectural technologist, and they share basically a week in their life. And I've had quite a few submissions. I'll pop the link in the description below if you want to share. It has been so amazing. It's being able to read other people's week in their life is an insight into the world of architecture that I truly haven't seen anywhere before. I have in the past seen on architecture school websites like a week in my life, but it's never as detailed as I want it to be. It's never as truthful. And what I love about the submissions so far is that they have been very detailed, very truthful, and you really get an insight into how they're feeling, the impact of what they're doing, and where it's going to take them next. At the moment, I've had architecture student and a couple of architectural assistants, and I really want that to expand. I'll pop all the details in the description below. I'll do a completely separate video basically advertising it and really trying to get people on board with ArchiWeek, because I feel like it will be a really valuable resource for anyone in the architecture world, whether you're just starting or you're an architect principal, because it really does show the impact other people have on other people, if that makes any sense. An architectural assistant might write a week in their life and really go into detail about how they're feeling about the way their director is treating them, for example. And then a director, not necessarily the same director, but a different director might then reevaluate how they're treating their architectural assistants. Maybe they could do something better, maybe more training may be needed. It just creates more understanding across the whole board. I think it's been about a month now, so I think this week will be the 4th submission that will be uploaded to Archi Student Notes, and I'm really excited about that. That is something else that I've been working on as part of Archi Student Notes. So that's the website, I guess, tutoring sessions, and ArchiWeek. To be honest, in terms of social media and YouTube and everything, I'm really trying to just have more fun with basically everything I'm doing. In the past, I would upload, I would say, every other day, and that took quite a lot out of me, because I'd be waking up in the morning and spending, I don't know, 30 minutes scrolling through Instagram and trying to figure out what to post and everything. And then from then I sort of looked at doing things in bulk. So I would say, okay, I'm going to spend 3-4 hours trying to create content for the next month, for example, and I just procrastinated it because the thought of doing it made me just absolutely dread it, and it took the fun out of it. At the moment, consistent posts are the ArchiWeek post, where I'm sort of sharing that this is the ArchiWeek, this is the person that has submitted an ArchiWeek submission. I've started doing like small little diagrams, which I've really enjoyed. I've only done one so far. That will be a timestamp of how long it takes me to upload this video, but I've only done one so far and I've really enjoyed it. It took me a little bit of time, but it was a lot more creative than the things that I was doing before, so I'm definitely going to be continuing with that. And in the future, I just want to have a lot more fun with Archi Student Notes. It's, yes, something that I'm very passionate about, and I want to turn it into a business that helps architecture students. At its core, I want to have fun with it, and I want to make sure that the people that are interacting with the content are having fun and relaxed. I just want to make it so that Archi Student Notes is somewhere where you can come for just simple, direct information. There's just nothing else. It's just that. So yeah, I'm just trying to have a lot more fun with it. So yeah, I'll be experimenting with loads of different types of content. Again, hopefully more YouTube videos as I become more comfortable in front of a camera and all of that good stuff. So that is my working career, Archi Student Notes. Now I guess my personal stuff. So in my last video, I remember talking about how over the last 10 years I've been neglecting my friends and family and haven't really dedicated enough time and effort into reconnecting with them. And after that video, I definitely messaged my friends, made way more effort to talk to my friends and family, and for, I'm going to say, a month, I was really on board with this idea of talking more to everyone. But again, Archi Student Notes has become almost like it's a massive passion project, and any time that I have, I tend to cater towards that or dedicate towards that. So again, with this idea of trying to have a lot more fun with Archi Student Notes, I will be trying to get that balance back, and as we come to the end of the year, I will be trying to reconnect with all the important people in my life. That is an ongoing thing that I'll be doing, but in the next vlog, maybe let's say in a month's time, I'll again update you on that. Otherwise, in terms of my personal stuff, one thing that has definitely been a highlight is my camping. Now, if you follow me on Instagram, you'll know that when I come back from a camping trip, my next couple of stories are always something like a background of the tent or like a nice view or anything, and I really talk about this idea of loving camping. And it'll be another video that I need to do, because camping as a activity, as a way to get away, as a way to travel, has been unbelievable. I only started camping 2 or 3 years ago. Usually do it with my partner. We've been camping this year, I'm gonna say 4 or 5 times, and that isn't enough for me. I want to go a lot more. It is such an amazing way to escape, and I'll do another video on how it can be really relevant for architecture students and how they can use it to their advantage for, you know, cheap getaways or just a way to disconnect from the built environment. So that was the video. That was my update since my last video. I'm hoping that was a lot more positive. I feel a lot more positive in myself and where I am and where I'm going in terms of my work and career, Archi student notes, and my personal life. Massive jumps from when was that? Maybe 6 months ago now, when I lost my job. So end of January, and we've just started September. So I guess, yeah, just over 6 months. It's taken me half a year to do another video. Yeah, I'm feeling a lot more positive about life at the moment, which is very good. In my next video, I will be doing basically what I've said in this video. So I'll be talking about my experiences in different architecture practices, which I think will be incredibly valuable. I'll be doing a lot of videos on how to prepare for the upcoming architecture academic year. So that will be in the next month. And I'll also be doing just sort of not random videos, but videos that I think will be important to you that aren't necessarily architecture related. Camping videos, for example. I might upload those to Archi Student Notes just to show you what you can do around your local city or your university city, just with like a few items and like a train or something. So yeah, that was this video. Please like, comment, subscribe. I think that's the first time I've actually said that in one of these videos. I'm trying to grow Archi Student Notes, and a really good way to do that at the moment is through YouTube. So I'll see you in the next one.